Hello there, guys. What's up? It's Commando, and we're going for some WWE Fastlane predictions here. Let's. Well, before again, I just want to say that this is the last branded pay-per-view. From now on, they're going to be together, and but it's a good thing that there's less, but technically there's not really less because they're all going to be like 4 hours or 5 hours with the pre-show from now on, which is just too much, in my opinion. All they had to do was just cut back to one a month, where 1 month it goes to Raw, the following month it goes to SmackDown. It worked before, it could work now, but because they have them all the time and they need to have like one for each show every month, then it just ruins it and it's hard to build up. If they had like a 2 month build to one of these shows, it would be better. But no, quantity over quality, and that's why it's now going to end. That's why the branded pay-per-views are going to end. They did it themselves, but I'm sure they'll blame the talent. Couldn't possibly blame Vince and his creative. Oh no, couldn't do that. Anyways, let's go. Six-pack challenge for the WWE title. I would like to say AJ would win, but there's doing that tease thing with Cena where he would win, and then it become a triple threat at WrestleMania with him, AJ and Nakamura. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a good match, but I just think if you just look at it in a kayfabe kind of way, it's kind of bullshit that Cena got into this just because he asked for it. So he's been a 16-time champion. Woo. He lost it 16 times. So why does that mean he gets to just come say, I'm going to SmackDown and I want an opportunity? Well, what about the 70% of the SmackDown roster that never gets used every week? Do they not deserve an opportunity? But Cena can jump around and go show to show and do whatever, and he just gets a thing. That's some bullshit, in my opinion. And also, that thing with Goldust this week was bloody terrible. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know if Goldust was informed of this like a minute before and he just went out there, but it didn't make any sense. And it just seemed like he was making things up as he went along. It was terrible. But the SmackDown is the build's been all right. It's been okay. It just I was kind of hoping way back when it was initially, they were setting up for this. I kind of wanted Sami Zayn to win. I wanted to see AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn, and then every week someone else got added. It's now a six-pack challenge. Hell, by the time Fastlane goes around, it could be like a fucking 30-man. Hell, maybe this 50-man Rumble thing, the greatest Rumble thing, is going to be for AJ Styles' title. Maybe that's what they're going for. Quantity over quality. I'll go for AJ. And then we have Bob Roode, as Rusev would call him, versus Randy Orton for the US title. I like the build to this. It's been good. Jinder Mahal keeps beating them all, so I'm kind of surprised he's not in the match, to be honest. But I could see him interfering, maybe attacking Bob Roode, Randy Orton, and then maybe a triple threat at WrestleMania. So yeah, that's actually what I think will happen. So it'll end via DQ. So we'll go there. And then we have the Usos versus New Day for the SmackDown titles. Not really a whole lot of build. I would have liked to seen one of the many other tag teams that never get used on SmackDown get a chance here, but nope. We'll just go with what's worked in the past. We won't bother trying something new. That's how they work. WWE, that's how they go. I'm not saying it'll be a bad match. I would just like to see somebody else used. I just read something. I think it was like what culture's 10 predictions you need to know or something where the Usos would lose, but then they would challenge for the Raw tag titles at WrestleMania. Um, I actually think that's a kind of a cool idea. Actually, that'd be pretty cool to see. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I just would like to see someone else like Breezango or the Ascension. People like, oh well, the Ascension suck. Well, if you actually revitalize them and reuse them again, they could have been great. But buried since day one. The Usos been down since day one ish. Well, Ascension have been buried since day one. Not ish, day one. So I'll just go Usos. And moving on, we have Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott for the women's title. Does anyone really believe Charlotte's going to lose here? Just another sign that this show is pointless. I don't really. The build's been okay. They've been building up to it well, with Charlotte beating the other members of the Riot Squad, then Ruby beating Becky and Naomi. But they had a weird segment this week, where a talking segment, it just kind of randomly ended with Bob Roode coming out, and that was it. It was odd. I'll go Charlotte, and I could maybe see Asuka coming here and maybe setting up the match at WrestleMania. It seems like that's the way they're going to go. And what I think should happen is maybe they should have this match at WrestleMania, and maybe Asuka wins, and then Carmella cashes in, beats Asuka, boom. Amazing heel heat for Carmella, amazing moment for Carmella as well. Great way for the first cash in to go. Great way for Asuka's streak to end as well, in my opinion. After a brutal and grueling match, I think that would be awesome. So I'll go Charlotte here. And then we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev, which is just sort of built on Nakamura destroying English like a couple of weeks ago or something, or a week ago. And now Rusev wants to get revenge for his friend. And weirdly enough, Nakamura started singing on SmackDown this week, and he actually sounded more, I don't know the word, clearer in his singing voice than he does in his regular voice. I was like, I understood everything that he just said right now, which is weird. But I'll go Nakamura. It would be very odd if Rusev won here. But Rusev, that's another team. Rusev, why not Rusev and Aiden English for the tag titles? Why not go that route? They're so over with the crowd. It's crazy how popular these guys are. And they just seem to be having so much fun and just letting them do them, doing their thing. Like they had the WWE playback series on YouTube. It was absolutely hilarious, the stuff they were saying and doing. Lana was there. She was there, but she didn't really do anything. It was Rusev and English just gold, I tell you, just pure gold. Such a shame to see talent guys being held back and not being utilized to their full potential. Um, and then finally we have Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalia and Carmella. Sort of a smallish kind of build just the last week or two with kind of random backstage segments and what have you. I would imagine Becky Lynch and that'll win. Although I think if that's the case, that would be an all-face victory for the show, and I somehow just don't see that happening. Well, I suppose with Jinder interrupting, but I don't know. It just seems like a very pointless and unnecessary show. It's I just don't agree with it. But I am glad they're coming back. I am glad about that, but at the same time, not. It's not. They're not really cutting back at the same time because the shows are all an hour longer. So out of you've got the WrestleManias, they'll be like 6 hours or whatever, but then this one's will be five. So that's like eight extra hours. So probably not. Well, there is less, but probably there's still a lot. There's still. I would say it would. In overall, it would be less in a year, but like the actual watch time, but still a lot, an unnecessary amount as well. I mean, they worked before with the brand split, 3 hours. Like, remember Night of Champions where all the titles were defended? Well, that all happened in a 3 hour show. No pre-shows or anything like that. That was when that happened. So now they seem obsessed with quantity over quality and wasting time on stuff. Anyways, that's my predictions. We've got through this really quickly, which is good because I have got an insane amount of stuff to watch right now. Like all the shows I watch have all came back on at the same time, and it just seems to be getting worse every week. Like The Walking Dead and came back, so that's like 2 hours because of Talking Dead, and then Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon just started again. But Young Sheldon's really good. I like it more than Big Bang Theory. It's really good. It just started airing here in the UK. American Dad just started last week, and Family Guy just started this week. It started up again. What else? I have Brooklyn Nine-Nine just started up this week, even though it started airing like 6 months ago or something in America, or like a few months ago, which would have been good because I didn't have that much to watch back then. Well, sort of, not nowhere near as bad as it is now. And then Still Game, which is a Scottish comedy, it just started up. It's only like 6 episodes, so it's not just gonna last too long. What else? There's something. There's a lot. In total today I got like 7 hours or something of stuff to watch. I got EastEnders as well. I've only got two of them to watch, but There's a lot of stuff came back on at this time. It's crazy, absolutely crazy, and it just seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. I'm like, ugh. Impractical Jokers, that's another thing. There's like an hour and a half of it because they've got the regular episode, then the inside jokes episode, and then the after party thing. But there's only after the week this week, there's only two more in the series, like the main series. So I'm hoping they just take a break. I know it's airing in the US, like the newer series. So I'm kind of hoping they just take a break and come back to it later. But I wouldn't be surprised if they keep going with it. It seems to be very popular because they're airing it quite a lot here in the UK. And it's a great show. That's why I watch it. It's very entertaining. But I was just like, please take a break. I got so much stuff to watch right now. It's crazy. And that's on top of wrestling. That dominates my week throughout the week is catching up with all that. Um, but yeah, I probably could have gotten some of it watched last night, but I kind of went on a 3 hour viewing spree of like looking at smoothie makers and stuff. I was looking at that and like this overnight oats thing. I was looking at stuff about that, but the smoothie maker thing was the main thing I was looking at, like all different smoothie makers and like recipes and stuff. So I'm sort of thinking about getting one of those and maybe trying to get some more vegetables in me. Try to eat some more vegetables. That's my main sort of thing, and different fruits and what have you. I was thinking about that. So I don't want to do that again. That's something I don't want to do. Friday is like the one day where I don't have a lot of wrestling to watch. It's like very little, so I leave all sort of stuff and do it then. But I could have had like 3 hours extra sleep than I did. I wasn't sleeping like after two. Um, I really could have gotten a lot more sleep or some TV watched or something. So it's kind of my bad on that end. But we're kind of rambling here, so I'm gonna end it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later. And I'm thinking maybe WrestleMania I might just no more of these predictions and reviews. They're not doing good. Even though people are like, oh well, you should keep doing it, blah 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 blah. Well, I'm getting no feedback, so you're not really following up on your things like, oh, I enjoy this or oh, I like this. Well, give me some feedback then, if that's the case. But I think WrestleMania, and then I'll stop. I just don't really see the point of continuing doing them. So yeah, see ya. Cables are all getting caught up.